Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how to build a chatbot based on ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome back. My name is Jeff Batt, and if you haven't checked out my website already, go ahead and check out my website at learningdojo.ninja. Here you can check out all previous blog posts covering anything learning development related. You can also download free templates in Articulate Storyline 360, XAPI, and video templates as well. And if any of these topics are new to you, you can check out full courses, everything from A to Z in Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, XAPI Fundamentals, Camtasia, Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 video. So I've been playing around with this tool that allows you to build a chatbot pretty easily and embed it in any of your websites, or if you have different help docs or anything like that, you can build this virtual chatbot. Now, the information that this chatbot provides could be information that you feed it. And so it could be something very specific to your organization. One of the use cases that I find really interesting is allowing or enabling users to be able to find your content easily and quickly. And we have content sometimes all over the place. We have content in a learning experience platform. We have content in learning management systems. We have contents just on wikis and other things like that. And so this chatbot basically will allow you to, or almost like a virtual assistant, allow the person to go and ask, hey, what does this mean? Where can I find resources for this? And it will provide resources for you. Now that allows you to create this virtual assistant that anybody can go in and ask and find the right content and have that deliver the right content to the person. So let's go ahead and talk about how this is made. You can head on over to Zapier.com and you can sign up for a free account. You can try everything for free. There are some limitations to the free plan that you have to be aware of, but those limitations are mostly like how the type of data that you can upload and things like that. So it's just getting used to it to see if it's actually going to work for you. You can do this all inside of the free account. Now, if you do go to the paid account, it's only $20 a month, so it's really not that expensive. So that's why I wanted to at least show you this resource, show you how to set it up, show you how to provide specific instructions and directives of how this chatbot will respond. So inside of Zapier here, there over on the left-hand side, there is something called interfaces. Now this is in beta. It's still a paid beta, so you can pay for that $20. Now, you don't have to pay for the actual Zapier account. The Zapier account is more if you're doing API integrations, and I have previous videos that talk about that. But we're just worried about the interfaces section of this. So I'm going to go into the interfaces here, and you can see that I already have a couple different chatbots here, but I'm going to go into this Dojo chatbot. And let's go ahead and take a look at what this is actually all about, first of all. So you can see right here, Ask the Dojo, like Learning Dojo. I wanted to create a resource that allows people to find XAPI content quickly. So that was my goal here. I'm going to go ahead and click on share here, and I'm going to get this link here that will give me the live version of this Dojo chat. So basically it says, how can I help you today? What is an actor? So I'm just going to ask a question here. It's going to pull from the database that I provided. In the context of XAPI, Experience API, the actor refers to the person who is taking the course. And so it provides a lot of instructions, but notice here how it says Jeff Batt provides a template on using the XAPI strategy document. So it's starting to use specific information that I provided in order for somebody to find the different resources that I have. So this is a great way for your organization to be able to find content, to summarize content, to provide links and so forth to whatever the person is looking for. So it does take a little bit of time to set up that data, but once you have that data set up, this is a great resource to be able to summarize, but also provide links. Now I'm going to go ahead and ask it, do you have any videos on XAPI? That might be a little bit more general, might provide a lot of videos here, but you can see it starts to give me a list with links to the videos here. So getting started with XAPI and Storyline, if I click on that, it'll take me to my video as well. It provides very specific information on XAPI in this case, whatever I'm asking. there's a couple different things that we can do to set this up. Let's go ahead and just take a step back and let's talk about how do I actually get started with this. So I'm going to go back into here and I'm actually going to start this again. Now I haven't found an easier way to just go back in and start from scratch rather than going back to Zapier here. For some reason, when you're in one of these interfaces, it's hard to go back to the previous interface. But I'm going to create a sample one here. We'll go back to the Dojo one and show you how I set it up specifically for that one. But let's just go ahead and start from scratch here. Now the interfaces is almost like you're building a website, but you have different components that you can use in that website. So you can see here we have a form, we have text, we have a table, and so forth. I want to get started with some text. This is the Dojo chat. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this hashtag right here because that's what determines it as a title. And so let's call this one Dojo Chat 2. And then you can add some text right there. If you want this to be narrow or if you want it to be wide to give a little bit more room, you can do that. So it's almost like a website builder in this case. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add some more components. So you add more components over on the left-hand side here. And all those different options that I saw before are here as well. Now, this is the chatbot one that we can go ahead and select. Yes, I want to add this chatbot. Now, inside of this chatbot is where I can start to provide it directives and information and data and other things like that. So right here, chatbot name. What is this chatbot name? I'm going to go ahead and call this Dojo Chat or Ask the Dojo. It's up here. We can say Ask the Dojo, but right here, the person responding or the chatbot responding, this is where you can give it a name. You can name it something like Angie or something like that. So the greeting, how can I help? Or if you wanted it to be generated in a certain way, let's just keep it static for now. And then the ask me anything, that's that prompt here. We're going to come back to the directives, but this is where you can provide a lot of information, like how to respond, what to do in certain situations. You can even provide the information, the data that you want inside of this directive section as well, but we'll come back to that. Now, this is where it's based on ChatGPT. So you can see here that it's going to use the free and open version of ChatGPT, which is 3.5. But if you have an account, a paid account, you can actually use ChatGPT 4 to give you some additional functionality. If you wanted to do that, great. If not, you can just use the free ChatGPT in this case. Now, this is the next thing. Okay, max response. Do you want to limit the response? In the example that we showed before, you saw that some of those responses were pretty big. But if you wanted to make it shorter and provided a smaller response, you could do that as well. Now, here is the next thing. So the creativity. Do you want it to be random? Do you want ChatGPT to be creative with its responses and so forth? Or do you want it to be very predictable? Very predictable will just provide the information. It won't elaborate. It won't add on to it or anything like that. So if you wanted to be a little bit creative, you can go ahead and up that. What I found the best, and especially in this case of a chatbot, and you just wanted to provide the information from the resources and the data that you provide, is to keep it around 0.2, 0.3, somewhere around there, basically. Now, display disclosure greeting message. This would basically just say this is an automated chatbot. You can adjust that text. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off here. So the height, the width, the alignment, and so forth. Let's save that changes here. So at this point, it's mostly just like a ChatGPT chatbot. So it's just going to use the ChatGPT functionality and provide all the database that ChatGPT has to the user, and they can just do this right there. So it's really no different in this case because I haven't provided it specific company information. What I would want to do is provide that information inside of the directive or come into the data section. Now, if I come into the data section, this is where I can upload a file, or in the future, I could even link to like a web page, and that web page is going to be the information that it pulls from and summarizes and other things like that. But for now, it's just like a file, which is like a CSV file, could be a text file, and so forth. You can just provide that information and upload it here. Now, the file that I have is this file right here where I provided all of the XAPI data. So in the XAPI data, I provided a title to the video, I provided a link to the video, and then I added the description of that video. So these are all my YouTube videos, and I wanted to make it easier for someone to find a YouTube specific XAPI video. Well, the description is going to help with providing context and explanation, and the chatbot to know how to respond basically. So that's, you can set this up in any way that you want, but this is just the way that I provided of title, link, and description. Now from there, I can provide additional instructions, but this is at least the data file that I am working off of. So it took me a little bit to kind of just grab the text, grab the title, and grab the link. There are different services out there that will scrape data from different websites. So if you wanted to use something like that, you can. So this is just a more of a manual way that I did to test this out. All right, so now I would then go ahead and upload this. Instead of going through all of that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to my interfaces here. And I'm going to go into this Dojo chat one right here. And let's go ahead and click on this chatbot and let's take a look at the data. So you can see right here, here is my data. Now there's something important that you may want to do. If you don't want the chatbot to provide links to other resources and you just wanted to provide it to your resource, what you could do is select this drop-down box and click on Show Message. And what that will do is say when resources are not found in this data source. So if it's not provided in that data source, don't go make it up and don't go link to somewhere else. Just say, sorry, I don't have that information or something. Or I've even just said, just went ahead and deleted that, because what I saw happen is it would actually provide, sorry, I don't have that info, and some additional things to it. So I just got rid of that custom message and it seemed to work the best in that case. Here in the content, this is the directive. This is an important part right here. So what I'm doing with the directive and with ChatGPT, you need to tell it how to act. You need to tell it who it is, how to respond in certain situations. So what I'm doing here is you're a customer service rep for Learning Dojo, a company teaching people how to create online learning content. Your goal is to help site visitors find the right link and blog post for their question. Always try to provide video links in your responses. So I'm giving it basically directions on how to respond, on what to do. Now you may want this to evolve over time. If you're finding that the responses are being given in a certain way that you're not liking, maybe you provide an additional directive that will help condense or illuminate or just provide additional details there. So our contact information. So if I went and said, hey, how do I contact you guys? It's going to provide this information as a way to contact me. In fact, I want to show that. I'm going to go ahead and preview this again. And I'm going to say, how do I get a hold of you? And so it will respond with my email right there. If you have any questions or need assistance, do you have any social media? So you don't actually have to upload a data source. You could actually provide all of the content inside of the directive here. And you can expand this out and provide as additional information inside of this directive. So this is a way for you to create a virtual assistant that allows people to use it to find content, to find additional resources or answers to specific questions as well. What you could do at this point is then go into embed, and let me save these changes right here. And I'm going to go into the embed section. You can restrict certain domains if you wanted to, but what you could do here is just copy the embed code and you could place this inside of an internal wiki. You can place this on a website or something like that. And now it becomes a chatbot, a useful resource or a virtual assistant for your learners to find content, to find answers, and so forth. Now, whether your organization allows ChatGPT or not, this is mostly, the ChatGPT is mostly the backend, and you can restrict all of the false information that ChatGPT could provide, and you can provide it just with the details. And this is the only information that you're allowed to provide, kind of thing. So I think it's a little bit more useful than just having it be a completely open ChatGPT and allowing you to create resources that only through this chatbot people are going to find. It's not going to open it up to other locations. And so it's only through that chatbot that they're able to read that data source and get the information, find the right content, and so forth, which is really, I mean, a big hurdle in learning and development is you've created all this content. Now, how do you get people to find and consume the content? And so this hopefully is a useful way for you to be able to do that. If you want to learn more, head on over to my website, learningdojo.ninja. You can check out all my previous blog posts covering anything learning development related. You can also download free templates and use those templates in your learning and development in Articulate Storyline, XAPI, and video. And if any of these topics are new to you, you can sign up for full courses in Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, XAPI Fundamentals, Camtasia, Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 video. If you like this video, go ahead and click on that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notification so you get notified of all future videos as they come out. That really helps my channel, allows me to continue to provide these videos for you for free, and allows my channel to grow. Also, if you have any other questions or you want to see other videos or requests or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what questions you may have, or also what other videos you would like to see. That's all I have for today, so thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time.